Hi there, welcome back. It's nice to see you again. So most sounds that we make start completely dry, but placing a sound in a space gives it a nice sense of depth and interest and especially dimension. Sometimes you want a sound placed in some kind of a space without it completely taking over and muddying up the whole mix. And this is where dimension expanders come into play. So let's take a look at what they are and how you can use them in your beats. So these guys are called dimension expanders, and they're actually derived from a highly sought after effect from Roland called the SDD 320, otherwise known as the Dimension D. And that came out in 1979, and it's been all over famous records since that point. Essentially, the way that Dimension D and Dimension expanders make things sound a little bit larger than life is that they mix together multiple delayed, out-of-phase versions of the signal with the original, and then they use trapezoidal LFOs to subtly shift delay times, which creates pitch differences in the stereo image and, well, just makes it sound wide and cool. But the main idea behind Dimension D is that you can create a sense of space without completely washing it out with reverb, or you can avoid that warbled sound that you get from the pitch modulation that occurs from classic chorus, for example. You know, this sound. Whereas with Dimension D, it sounds a bit more like this. You hear that? Especially for those of you who have headphones on. But this effect is so useful across so many different scenarios in music production that I would highly recommend that you guys go and snag a VST that is designed to replicate the effects of Dimension D. And there's a ton of free ones out there, most notably of which is probably Dimension Expander by X for Records. Or is it Transfer Records? I don't know, but that's probably the best one and it's free, so you should go grab it. However, if you guys like the detailed and nuanced VSTs that Arturia makes, they came out with an excellent recreation of the Dimension D that you can snag if you don't want to pay an arm and a leg for a real one, like $1,200 at least. It's really one of those effects that once you have it and you're using it, you'll wonder how you ever got by without it, because you can use it on basically everything. But like what? Well, let's go through some specific examples on my favorite uses for it. So in front of us, I've just got a basic guitar loop and it sounds like this. Now, dimension expanders are actually my favorite way to make guitar sound a little bit more lively. And you can see here, it's just a regular kind of mono sound. But watch what happens when you put on the Dimension D here. Now, I want you to listen to how it fills out the stereo image. Now, of course, it doesn't just end at guitars, like you can use it anywhere in your beat. And so I want to take you guys through the rest of this very basic beat and see where we can spice stuff up with dimension expanders, okay? Another place that I really like to use Dimension D is actually on drum sounds and snare sounds in particular. So if we take it off of the guitar and add some drums in, it sounds like this. We got kind of a rim shot thing happening here, but if you add this to the rim shot, check out how much it adds. I'm gonna start with it off and then we'll add it in. It's a really smooth and clean way of filling out the stereo image in a different way. Another thing that you can try is instead of using it on a rim shot or a guitar, you can use it to widen your bass sounds, which is another thing I really like to do. And actually, Dimension Expander, the free one that I mentioned, that looks like this, is great for this. Okay, so check out what it sounds like before and after. And dimension expander is such a good term once you actually just hear it in the context of a song. It makes so much sense. Literally what it sounds like it's doing is just adding depth to a sound. But I think if I had to pick one use for it and one use alone, I would probably go with vocals. So if we had just like a little hook on this, I want you to listen to what Dimension D does to vocals. All right, so we're just gonna start with 2 mono vocals here.
Give it up, I'll take you home. We can see this through.
Now listen to what it sounds like when I throw Dimension D on just one of those mono vocals.
Give it up, I'll take you home. We can see this through.
Wow. It's pretty subtle sounding. Well, you can make it very subtle anyway, but you can definitely hear that it's doing something very interesting in the stereo image and giving things a little bit more life, which is a really nice option to have when things start so dead, if that makes sense. So if nothing else, definitely grab a free dimension expander out there, and most importantly, use it on everything, and then decide what you like it on, because different strokes for different folks. I promise though, you will come across a situation where you want to give some life and some space to a sound without actually muddying up the mix, and this is just the ticket. And let us know how you guys use dimension expanders in your own music production, and if you guys have any questions about anything related to that, I'd be more than happy to answer, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Happy music making. Peace.